Good morning, Sarah. How are you today?
Good morning, Miss Jones. I'm doing well, thank you. How about you?
I'm great, thank you. I'm excited to have our English conversation session today. Are you ready to learn? So, Sarah, let's start with talking about hobbies and interests. What do you enjoy doing in your free time?
I love reading books and watching movies. Also, I'm interested in painting.
That's wonderful. Reading, watching movies, and painting are great hobbies. What kind of books do you like to read?
I enjoy reading fiction novels, especially mystery and fantasy genres.
That's fantastic. Reading fiction can improve your vocabulary and comprehension skills. Do you have a favorite author?
Yes, I love J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter series. The magical world she created is fascinating.
Absolutely. J.K. Rowling is a brilliant author. Now, let's talk about movies. What type of movies do you enjoy watching?
I like watching a variety of genres, but I particularly enjoy science fiction and drama movies.
Science fiction movies often have interesting concepts and special effects. Do you have a favorite science fiction movie?
Yes, I really enjoyed Interstellar. The storyline and visual effects were amazing.
Interstellar is indeed a captivating movie. Lastly, let's discuss your interest in painting. What inspires you to paint?
I'm inspired by nature and everyday life. I love capturing moments and expressing emotions through colors and brushstrokes.
That's beautiful. Painting is a wonderful way to express yourself. Keep exploring your creativity, Sarah. Now, let's talk about travel experiences. Have you traveled to any interesting places recently?
Yes, I visited Paris last summer with my family. It was an amazing experience.
Paris is a beautiful city with rich history and culture. What were some of the highlights of your trip?
We visited iconic landmarks like the Eiffel Tower, Louvre Museum, and Notre Dame Cathedral. We also enjoyed delicious French cuisine.
It sounds like you had a fantastic time exploring Paris. Did you learn anything new about the French language or culture during your trip?
Yes, I learned some basic French phrases and got to experience the French way of life. The art and architecture in Paris were also very inspiring.
Traveling is a great way to learn about different cultures and broaden your perspective. Do you have any plans for future travel destinations?
I would love to visit Japan next. I'm fascinated by Japanese culture, cuisine, and traditional arts like origami and calligraphy.
Japan is a beautiful country with a rich cultural heritage. I'm sure you will have an amazing time exploring it. Remember to keep practicing your English skills during your travels. Well, Sarah, it was a pleasure talking to you today. I hope you enjoyed our conversation and learned some new vocabulary.
Thank you, Miss Jones. I had a great time discussing hobbies, interests, and travel experiences with you. I definitely learned a lot.
Keep up the good work, Sarah. Practice your English regularly, and don't hesitate to ask if you have any questions.
I will, Miss Jones. Thank you for your guidance and encouragement. I look forward to our next conversation session.
Good morning, Sarah. How have you been since our last conversation session?
Good morning, Miss Jones. I have been doing well, thank you. I have been practicing my English and exploring new hobbies. How about you?
I'm glad to hear that, Sarah. I have been doing well too, thank you for asking. I'm excited to continue our English conversation today. Are you ready to dive into some new topics? Let's start by talking about your daily routine. What does a typical day look like for you?
Well, I usually wake up at 7 a.m. and have breakfast. Then, I get ready for school and leave home by 8 a.m. After school, I do my homework, practice painting, and spend time with my family in the evening.
It sounds like you have a well-organized daily routine. How do you manage your time effectively?
I try to prioritize my tasks and set aside specific time slots for studying, painting, and relaxation. I also use a planner to keep track of my schedule.
That's a great strategy, Sarah. Time management is an important skill to have. Do you have any tips for balancing schoolwork and hobbies?
I think it's important to create a balance between academic responsibilities and leisure activities. Setting realistic goals and allocating time for both studying and pursuing hobbies helps me stay productive and motivated.
Now, let's talk about your future plans. What are your aspirations for the future?
I'm interested in pursuing a career in either art or literature. I'm passionate about both fields and would love to explore opportunities that allow me to express my creativity and make a positive impact.
That's wonderful, Sarah. Pursuing your passion is important for personal fulfillment. Have you thought about any specific career paths within art or literature?
I'm considering becoming either an illustrator or a writer. I enjoy storytelling and visual expression, so I believe these career paths align well with my interests and strengths.
Both illustrator and writer are excellent career choices that require creativity and dedication. Have you taken any steps towards pursuing your goals?
Yes, I have been practicing my drawing skills and writing short stories in my free time. I'm also planning to attend art classes and workshops to further develop my skills and knowledge.
It's inspiring to hear about your aspirations, Sarah. Remember to stay focused and continue working towards your goals. I'm confident that you will achieve great success in your chosen career path.
Thank you, Miss Jones. I appreciate your encouragement and support. I'm determined to pursue my passions and make my dreams a reality.
Keep up the good work, Sarah. If you ever need guidance or assistance, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'm here to help you every step of the way.
Thank you, Miss Jones. I am grateful for your mentorship and guidance. I'm looking forward to our next conversation session.
Good morning, Sarah. How have you been since our last conversation session?
Good morning, Miss Jones. I have been doing well, thank you. I have been practicing my English and exploring new hobbies. How about you?
I'm glad to hear that, Sarah. I have been doing well too, thank you for asking. I'm excited to continue our English conversation today. Are you ready to dive into some new topics?
Yes, I'm ready. I'm looking forward to learning more and improving my English skills.
Let's start by discussing some current events. Have you been following any recent news or events that caught your attention?
Yes, I have been keeping up with the news about environmental issues and climate change. It's concerning to see the impact of climate change on our planet.
Climate change is indeed a pressing issue that requires global attention and action. Have you come across any initiatives or efforts aimed at addressing climate change?
I read about various environmental organizations and grassroots movements working towards sustainability and conservation efforts. It's inspiring to see people coming together to make a positive difference.
It's great that you are staying informed about important issues like climate change. Engaging with current events helps broaden your knowledge and awareness of the world around you. Let's switch gears and talk about cultural diversity. Why do you think cultural diversity is important in today's society?
I believe cultural diversity enriches our society by promoting tolerance, understanding, and appreciation for different cultures and perspectives. It helps foster inclusivity and unity among people from diverse backgrounds.
That's a thoughtful perspective, Sarah. Have you had any personal experiences that have influenced your understanding of cultural diversity?
Yes, I have had the opportunity to interact with people from various cultural backgrounds through school events, community gatherings, and travel experiences. These interactions have taught me to embrace diversity and celebrate our differences.
It's wonderful that you have had positive experiences embracing cultural diversity. Respect and appreciation for different cultures are essential for building a harmonious and inclusive society. It's been a pleasure discussing current events and cultural diversity with you, Sarah. Remember to stay curious and open-minded as you continue learning and exploring new topics.
Thank you, Miss Jones. I have enjoyed our conversation today and gained valuable insights. I look forward to our next session.
Likewise, Sarah. Keep up the excellent work with your English studies and continue engaging with diverse topics. If you have any questions or need further assistance, don't hesitate to reach out to me.
Thank you, Miss Jones. I appreciate your support and guidance. I will see you in our next conversation session.
Yes, Tom. You told me you wanted to talk to me. How can I help you?
Morning, teacher. Yeah, I want to ask you something. I'm sure you can help me. I want to improve my English, but I don't like reading books or writing essays. That's boring.
Don't worry. That's very common. Many students don't like to write and read in English. But there must be something that can work for you. What do you like doing?
Well, I love watching movies. I can be watching movies all day if possible.
Then, that's the answer. Why don't you learn English while watching movies or series?
Yeah, I have heard about that before, but I really don't know how to do that. It's difficult.
It's not difficult. I will help you. I shall tell you how to learn English with movies.
Really? That would be awesome. Yes, please. I want to know.
Movies and films give more than just entertainment. Watching foreign language movies is a fun, motivating way to improve language skills. While enjoying a movie, you can be immersed into authentic and varied language, the visual context and new expressions that you may not find in a textbook. Watching movies in English will help you improve your listening skills. For sure. Watching movies in English will help you improve your listening and speaking skills and vocabulary. For sure. But okay. Now we shall see what is the correct way to learn English with movies. The first thing, and in my opinion the most important tip, is enjoy them. You don't need to understand everything. If you try too hard, it will be a frustrating experience studying the language. Instead, try catching words and grammar points you already know and those you are not familiar with. You can pause and replay whenever you find something interesting or if you want to verify something. It is easier and time-saving if you have both English subtitles in your mother language. Since not all films have these, you can check the movie transcripts. What else? Rewatching, listening, and shadowing. Rewatch your favorite films and replay your favorite scenes. The more you rewatch, the more you can focus on the speech because you already know what is happening in every scene. Instead of focusing on what is happening, you can give more attention to what you hear. If you don't have time to rewatch the movie, then listen to the film audio. How can you do that? Easy. You can rip audios from films, save them as MP3 files, and play them while doing other things. Also, mimic the way the actors say the lines by repeating them. You can look at the transcripts while doing so. I know what you are thinking now, but yeah, it really works. Believe me, also, you can use movies to reinforce what you have learned from textbook lessons. You know what? You can remember lots of new words and grammar through watching movies. You just need to compile transcripts of your favorite films in a single document. For new words and grammar that you encounter in the lessons in your English classes, you can take notes and check when and how they were used in different scenes in the film. Repeat and act out the scenes until you can recite and understand them without looking at the transcript or notes. And that last part is a very important thing. Make notes to develop English vocabulary. Television and movies give great examples of English language in use. They automatically have a context as well, which is the best way to learn and understand new words and phrases. For example, if the storyline is set in an office, you will hear expressions that you can note down to expand your business English. Likewise, if it is a documentary about holiday destinations, you will be able to develop English vocabulary to describe places. However, there needs to be a balance. And again, Tom, it is not important to understand every word. You can still improve listening skills if you focus on getting a general understanding of the story, and then you can always watch again for more information. You can try something. Watch an animated TV program or movie. Yeah, I'm serious. From my experience, it can sometimes be easier to understand animated movies than watching actual actors, actresses. A lot of animated movies are targeted at a family audience, so the storyline and the language is likely to be simpler than the style of language and vocabulary used in a complex thriller or drama. If you want to relax, then a classic animated film that you know well can be a great way to spend your free time. For some movies, you might even want to sing along and just let it go. Oh, I mentioned something really important. Before I forget, watch movies that you have already watched in your mother language before. Of course, this time you will watch them in English. That way you will have an idea about the movie. Or even, you can know what they are saying because you can remember some dialogues. What else? Oh, of course. Avoid movies with difficult dialogue. At least, at the beginning. While you should always be up for a challenge, challenging yourself with difficult dialogue is not the best way to build your confidence and your understanding of English. Seriously. The aim of watching a movie in English should always be to improve. You know? If a movie is making you feel worse about your English language ability, then the movie should be avoided. Remember, native English speakers sometimes break grammar rules. If the dialogue consists of regional lingo and strong accents, then learning it to use in a general English context will not benefit you. It is a good idea to avoid movies with difficult dialogue because you need to build your confidence. Always set the movie you choose to your language ability and set achievable goals. Oh, this is a tip that really worked for me. Watch with someone. I mean, the movie. Why not sit down and watch a good movie with your friend or your classmate? This is a great idea to give you a speaking topic once you finish the movie. You can create a movie club and watch movies that you can talk about with your friends afterwards. You can also share the words and phrases that you thought were important and pick up some from your friends that you might have missed. You can do all these things and even more. I wish we could have more time to explain.
But it's still early, teacher. Please, all those tips are great, but I also want to know what movies to watch.
Oh, I have a list of recommended movies to learn English. Maybe next time. Or I can also tell you how to learn English with songs. Music that also very interesting.
I would love it. But let our subscribers decide what topic they want for an upcoming video.
Francisco? What are you doing here? Why did not you go to the English class today?
Hello, teacher. I'm really sorry. I did not feel like going to classes today.
Okay? But what happened? Could not you make it on time or what?
No, teacher. I had arrived on time, but I just stopped to think about some things.
Can I know what those things are? Maybe I can help you.
I don't think you can help me. I mean, you are an excellent teacher, but this is something. Well, I was going to English classes as usual, but then I asked myself, what are you doing? You know, I am about to be 60 years old, and I am trying to learn a new language. I know you also think it's impossible for an old man like me to learn a new language, right?
Oh, then that's the problem. I see. Can I sit here?
Sure. It's not like I'm waiting for someone. You can sit there.
So, you think you're too old to learn English? I am gonna tell you some things. You are never too old to learn something new, and that includes, of course, a new language.
I knew you were going to say something like that, but the truth is different. I know that.
Look, it is quite common for me to hear comments such as, "It's more difficult because I am older," or "I am too old to learn English." However, this is not actually true. I will explain it to you. It has been scientifically proven that you are never too old to learn a language or pick up any other new skill. Your body might not have the same agility or flexibility to do sport, for example, but your brain can definitely be stretched and challenged to create new neurological connections which can make you an effective learner. People have a wrong idea about learning English. Learning English is not about learning something totally new. That's not correct. Learning a language means linking your pre-existing knowledge of the world to the new input that you receive. Specifically for this reason, adults can be better, or at least more efficient, learners than children. Your many years of schooling and life experience make you receptive and allow you to better understand the intricacies of a language as well as the strategies to apply when analyzing and memorizing new concepts. You see?
Then, why do older students think that age is so crucial to their ability to learn English?
There are three common factors that students often confuse with age: risk-taking, time and repetition. We improve by trying to communicate and be understood, and this means taking risks and making mistakes. Adult learners are typically less happy to do this than younger students, so it is easy to think age is the barrier to the learning process and use it as a reason to justify not taking risks. Typically, adults also underestimate how much time it can take children to learn. We imagine young people as sponges that absorb everything very quickly, and this can be true in some circumstances. But we should also remember something: how many years of school it can take children to, for example, learn their multiplication tables in math. Compared to children, adults usually have less time to spend on learning a language. as they also have to focus on many aspects of life and not only on their studies. Moreover, children often find that repetition is comforting and it reassures them of what they're producing. Whereas adults can find this process quite boring or frustrating, which means they are less likely to repeat new language in the same way. That's the thing. However, repetition of expressions in meaningful encounters such as seeing, hearing, or using the word in a memorable situation is key to learning. Believe me. Research suggests these needs to be done at least 7 times before we can say we can actually know the new word or sentence. That's the best way of memorizing new words. Now is also a good moment to consider what it means to be a good language user. Often students have a very narrow definition, for example, not to make grammar mistakes or to know a lot of vocabulary. While these can be important, most of the time what we need is to be effective communicators, and that means knowing how to build relationships, express yourself and interact. Yeah. Essentially, social and intercultural skills can be as important language knowledge, which is why we spend time focusing on these in our English videos, for example. These are also elements that are often easier for more mature people to understand than for children.
Is that true? I mean, I get what you are saying and it makes sense, but I don't know. Sometimes it's difficult for me to memorize a new word. I repeat it over and over again and nothing.
And what does knowing a word actually mean? It's not only a matter of recalling it at the right time, or being able to use it in the right position in a sentence. For example, it's also about knowing its pronunciation, its spelling, and what words best go with it. For example, we say blonde hair, not yellow hair, right? Words can also have different meanings. Bank as a financial institution and the side of a river. Or variations depending on if it's a noun, singular or plural, with or without article, or if it's a verb or an adjective. Another example is photograph, photographer, photography, photographic, etc. There are also other considerations, for example, if there are words with similar or opposite meanings, if there are differences in register, maybe it's formal or informal, polite or not polite. Or if there are other words that have the same sound but a different spelling, like hair and hair. What I mean is all of these elements require you to make links and connections in your brain, which can become a conscious activity for mature adults, and as a consequence, it becomes easier for them to learn a new word. Because you can think clearly about more things. You can interact with more people, you have more things to relate to that new word. Learning English as an adult has a lot of advantages. That's for sure. That myth that says children learn English faster or better than adults is not true. I hope you could understand what I said. There's no right age to learn something new.
I think you are right, teacher. Plus, I got the higher score on the last exam, so.
Exactly. You are doing great at your process of learning English.
Thank you so much, teacher. I feel much better now, and I'm sorry for not going to your classes.
That's okay. Don't worry. All I want is you to learn and improve your English. And if you have any questions, you know you can always count on me, Francisco.
Yes, teacher. I know that now. Thank you so much for your help.
Good morning. I see you are interested in using technology to enhance your English learning. That's a great idea. How can I assist you today?
Good morning. Yes, I have been thinking about how I can improve my English skills using technology. I feel like there are so many resources out there, but I'm not sure where to start.
Absolutely, there's a wealth of resources available. Let's narrow it down. What aspects of English are you looking to improve? Listening, speaking, reading, writing?
I would say all of them, but especially speaking and listening. I want to feel more confident when speaking and understand native speakers better.
Great! For speaking, have you considered language exchange apps or platforms where you can practice speaking with native speakers?
I have heard of those, but I have not tried any yet. Do you have any recommendations?
Sure, platforms like Tandem, HelloTalk, or Speaky are popular choices. You can connect with native speakers who are learning your native language, so you can help each other out.
That sounds interesting. I will definitely check those out. What about listening practice?
For listening, podcasts are an excellent tool. There are podcasts available for all levels, covering various topics. You can listen during your commute, while exercising, or even while doing chores.
Do you have any favorite podcasts you recommend?
Absolutely, for English learners, podcasts like English Class 101 or All Ears English are highly recommended. They cover a range of topics and often include transcripts to help you follow along.
That sounds perfect. And what about reading and writing?
For reading, you can use ebooks or articles online. Many websites offer free articles on various topics. Reading regularly will not only improve your vocabulary but also your comprehension skills. As for writing, there are apps and websites where you can practice writing essays or journal entries and receive feedback from native speakers or teachers.
That all sounds really helpful. I feel more motivated now to incorporate technology into my learning routine.
I'm glad to hear that. Remember, consistency is key. Set aside some time each day for language practice, and don't be afraid to try out different resources to see what works best for you.
Thank you so much for your advice. I'm excited to start using technology to take my English skills to the next level.
You are welcome. If you ever need further assistance or have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Happy learning!
Thank you for all the recommendations. I'm really excited to get started. But I'm also a bit worried about staying motivated. How do you suggest I keep myself motivated to consistently use these resources?
That's a valid concern. Staying motivated is crucial for language learning. One strategy is to set specific, achievable goals for yourself. For example, you could aim to complete one podcast episode or have one language exchange conversation each day. Tracking your progress and celebrating small victories along the way can also help maintain motivation.
That makes sense. I will definitely try setting some goals for myself. Any other tips for staying motivated?
Another effective method is to make language learning a part of your daily routine. Find a time of day that works best for you and dedicate a consistent amount of time to practicing English. It could be during your morning commute, during your lunch break, or before bed. By integrating language learning into your daily habits, it becomes more automatic and less daunting.
I see. Consistency seems to be key here. What about when I encounter difficulties or feel like I'm not making progress?
It's normal to face challenges in language learning, but don't let setbacks discourage you. Remember that progress takes time and effort. When you encounter difficulties, try to identify the specific areas where you're struggling and focus on improving them. Don't hesitate to ask for help or seek additional resources if needed. And most importantly, be patient and kind to yourself throughout the learning process.
Thank you for the encouragement. I will keep that in mind whenever I face challenges. I really appreciate all your advice and support.
You are very welcome. I'm here to support you every step of the way. Learning a language is a rewarding journey, and I'm confident that with dedication and perseverance, you will achieve your goals. If you ever need assistance or just want to share your progress, don't hesitate to reach out.
Thank you so much. I'm feeling more motivated and prepared to embark on this journey now. I will definitely keep you updated on my progress.
I look forward to hearing about your progress. Remember, you have already taken the first step by seeking out resources and guidance. Keep up the great work, and don't hesitate to reach out if you need anything. Happy learning!
Thank you for your support and encouragement. I have one more question before we finish. How can I ensure that I'm making the most out of these technology-based resources? I want to make sure I'm not just going through the motions but actually improving my English skills effectively.
That's an excellent question. Making the most of technology-based resources involves being proactive and engaged in your learning process. One way to ensure effectiveness is to set specific learning objectives for each resource you use. For example, if you're using a language exchange app, set a goal to practice speaking for a certain amount of time each day or to focus on using specific vocabulary or grammar structures.
That makes sense. Setting goals will help me stay focused and track my progress. Are there any other strategies I should keep in mind?
Absolutely. Another important strategy is to actively engage with the material. Don't just passively listen to podcasts or read articles. Take notes, pause, and reflect on what you have learned, and try to apply new vocabulary and grammar structures in your own speaking and writing. Additionally, don't be afraid to experiment with different learning techniques and approaches to see what works best for you.
I will definitely keep that in mind. Actively engaging with the material sounds like a great way to reinforce my learning. Thank you for the advice.
You are welcome. Remember, the key is to be proactive, engaged, and consistent in your learning efforts. With dedication and the right mindset, you will surely make significant progress in improving your English skills using technology. If you ever need further guidance or support along the way, don't hesitate to reach out. Good luck and happy learning.
Thank you so much for all your help and guidance. I feel much more confident now about using technology to enhance my English learning. I will be sure to apply these strategies and stay committed to my goals. Have a great day.
You are very welcome. I'm glad I could help. I'm confident that with your dedication and enthusiasm, you will achieve great success in your language learning journey. Don't hesitate to reach out if you ever need assistance or encouragement. Have a wonderful day and happy learning.
Before I go, I have one last question. How can I ensure that I'm practicing all 4 language skills: reading, writing, speaking, and listening effectively using technology? Sometimes I feel like I focus too much on one skill and neglect the others.
That's a valid concern, and it's important to maintain a balance in practicing all 4 language skills. One effective approach is to create a structured study plan that includes activities for each skill. For example, you could dedicate specific days or times to focus on each skill, or you could integrate multiple skills into one activity. For instance, watching a video with subtitles can help improve your listening and reading skills simultaneously, while also providing opportunities to practice speaking and writing through summarizing or discussing the content.
That's a great idea. Having a structured study plan will definitely help me ensure that I'm covering all the necessary skills. Do you have any recommendations for activities or resources that integrate multiple language skills?
Certainly. There are many resources and activities available that cater to multiple language skills. For instance, language learning apps often offer interactive exercises that incorporate listening, reading, writing, and speaking components. Additionally, participating in online language exchange communities or joining virtual language study groups can provide opportunities to practice all 4 skills through conversations, discussions, and collaborative activities.
Those sound like fantastic options. I will be sure to explore them further and incorporate them into my study plan. Thank you so much for your guidance and support.
You are very welcome. I'm glad I could assist you. Remember, practicing all 4 language skills is essential for comprehensive language development, so don't hesitate to experiment with different activities and resources to find what works best for you. If you ever need further assistance or have any more questions, feel free to reach out. Keep up the great work and happy learning.
Thank you once again. I will definitely keep that in mind. Have a wonderful day.
You too. Take care and best of luck with your language learning journey. Goodbye for now.
Excuse me. Hello, teacher. I'm sorry to bother you. I have a question.
Oh, hello, David. What's that question you want to make? Tell me.
Yeah, thank you. What happens is that I'm having trouble improving my English.
Well, you're not bad. In fact, you did well in the last exam. What's the matter?
Probably, but it's not enough. I mean, I need to improve my English soon.
I have already told you. You only need to practice. That way you'll improve your language skills.
What happens is that I need to get a better job. And I need to speak very good English for that. Please, I need your help. I can listen and understand, but I can't speak fluently.
I see. Well, it comes with the time, but I guess I can give you some tips. Are you taking notes of new vocabulary we learn here in the class every day?
I do, but that doesn't work for me. I take notes of all the new words, but then I don't use them.
Then that's what you are doing wrong. It's not just about taking notes, David. You need to use those new words you wrote. If you don't, then what good is that? Work on building your vocabulary every day by choosing new words. Those new words. Repeat each word over and over to reinforce the memory of those new words. I will give you one example. Imagine you have learnt the word house today. Then use it in a sentence. My house is beautiful, for example. Associate this new word with other words. Yeah, I remember you told us something about that last time. Associate new vocabulary. Exactly. That's the best way to learn new words in English, you know. People think translating a word is enough, but it's useless if you are not able to use that new word. That's why you have to incorporate that new vocabulary to your own life. Real life. I think I get it. It's not enough to know what something means. I mean a word. If we don't use it, we will forget that word we have learned, right? Is that correct? That's right. That's how you get to speak advanced English. Learning new words and using them in your real life. Please never forget this tip. It's important. Wow! That's an excellent tip, Mr. Smith. I need more, please. More tips. Well, another thing that worked for me was to surround yourself with English. And you don't need to be in an English-speaking country to surround yourself with English. Find ways to make English part of your everyday life at home, like writing your shopping list, reading the newspaper, listening to the radio, writing a diary in English. That worked for me. Or listening to English on your cell phone while traveling to work. Videos, podcasts, etc. Yeah, I do that every day. I listen to videos on YouTube to improve my listening skills. That's great. But sometimes it's not enough. You need to listen and pay attention. If you don't understand a new word or phrase, then take notes of that and start using it. I have already told you that in the first tip. Oh, you can also make English friends. English friends? You mean people who speak English or who want to speak English? It can be both of them. The idea is to get friends with your same goals, the same objectives. That way, you will help each other to improve your English by practicing and correcting your friends. I see, but I told my friends to practice last time, and they were motivated at first, but then. I know. That also happened to me. They are motivated at first, but then they give up. And that's normal because this is not something easy to do. It takes hard work. And not all of our friends are as motivated as we are, David. Keep that on mind. Oh, before I forget it, motivation is something good, but it's not everything. Being motivated is good to start doing something, but you can't be motivated all the time. And when there is lack of motivation, you will need something really important, discipline. Discipline? I am disciplined. I always do my homework and project on time. Yeah, But that's because if you don't do them, you will probably get a bad score, right? Being disciplined is to commit to yourself. Do what you have to do even if you don't want to.
Oh, I think I get it. I have a question. Is it really necessary to read books in English?
Read everything you can get your hands on. Classic literature, paperbacks, newspapers, websites, emails, your social media feed, cereal boxes. If it's in English, read it. Why? Well, this content will be full of juicy new vocabulary, as well as a fair amount you already know. This helps you improve quickly as re-exposure to learned vocabulary gives you new examples in context. It's not necessary you read boring books about culture, history, drama, if you don't like them. But read whatever you want to read in English, even if it's a comic book or whatever.
Excellent. I was worried about that. I don't like reading books.
Oh, also, find fun ways to learn new words. That helps a lot. Not everyone learns in the same way, you know. Some people like to read, others watch videos. If you like singing, then look up the words for your favorite English songs. Rock, baldas, etc. Or if you remember what you see, write new words on post-it notes and stick them up around your house. Make funny example sentences or draw little pictures next to new vocabulary to help you remember it.
I like that idea. And well, I like listening to music too. I can also do that.
But remember, making it fun doesn't mean it's not serious. You have to be disciplined anyway.
I get it. And teacher, one question. How often should I study or practice? I mean, I study English every day, but somebody told me that's not good. So, how often?
It all depends on you. Look, I have been teaching English for more than 15 years. So, let me tell you something I have learned. The important thing is how much can you handle? Some people get stressed very easily while others can handle hard work and pressure normally. So if you can practice all day, that's perfect. The more you practice, the better and quicker you learn. So, don't listen to those people who tell you that you just need 1 hour a day, 1 day a week. It can probably work, but you'll take many years to speak English. That's silly. If you want to accelerate your learning, then you need to add more hours to your practice. But also be realistic, learning a language takes time. You can't make it in just a week or a month.
Yes, I know that. But I am determined to learn and dominate this beautiful language. Sorry, teacher. There are many things that these experts say in the teaching of English. I'd like to know more about that. For example, can I use a dictionary or translator? My last teacher told me not to use it because we're learning English and that's forbidden.
That doesn't make sense. In order to learn new words, you need to know what it means first. But there are ways to use a dictionary or translator. We can make another video about those things. If our subscribers want a video about myths about learning English and more tips, they can let us know by commenting this video. Now, I have to go. I have another class.
Oh, sure. Thank you very much for your help, teacher. I really appreciate it.
Good morning, Sarah. How are you today?
Good morning, Mr. Smith. I'm doing well, thank you. How about you?
I'm doing great, thank you. So, Sarah, I understand you want some tips on how to improve your English speaking skills. Is that correct?
Yes, that's right. I have been studying English for a while now, but I still struggle to speak fluently.
Well, you are in the right place. Improving your speaking skills takes practice and patience, but with the right strategies, you will get there. One tip I always give my students is to surround yourself with English as much as possible.
That makes sense. How can I do that?
There are several ways. First, try to immerse yourself in English-speaking environments. You could join conversation clubs, watch English movies or TV shows without subtitles, or listen to English podcasts or radio stations.
Those are great suggestions. I will definitely give them a try. Is there anything else I can do?
Absolutely. Another important tip is to practice speaking regularly. You can do this by finding a language partner or joining a language exchange program where you can practice speaking with native English speakers.
That sounds like a good idea. I will look into finding a language partner. Do you have any advice for speaking more confidently?
Confidence comes with practice and experience. One way to build confidence is to start with simple conversations and gradually challenge yourself with more complex topics. Also, don't be afraid to make mistakes. They are a natural part of the learning process.
That's reassuring to hear. I always worry about making mistakes when I speak English.
It's important to remember that making mistakes is how we learn. Native speakers make mistakes too, so don't let that hold you back. Finally, I recommend recording yourself speaking English. This will help you identify areas for improvement and track your progress over time.
That's a great idea. I will start recording myself right away. Thank you so much for all these helpful tips, Mr. Smith.
You are welcome, Sarah. Remember, improving your English speaking skills takes time and effort, but with dedication and practice, you will see results. Keep up the good work.
I will. Thanks again, Mr. Smith. I'm excited to put these tips into action and become a more confident English speaker.
Absolutely, Sarah. I'm always here to support you in your English learning journey. Now, let's talk about some specific techniques you can use to practice speaking English.
That would be really helpful, Mr. Smith. Can you give me some examples?
Of course. One effective technique is called shadowing. This involves listening to a native speaker or audio recording and repeating what they say as closely as possible, including their intonation and pronunciation. It helps you improve your pronunciation and rhythm.
That sounds like a useful technique. I will give it a try. What else can I do to practice speaking?
Another technique is called role-playing. Find a partner or even practice by yourself, and pretend you are in different situations, like ordering food at a restaurant or asking for directions. This helps you practice real-life conversations and builds your confidence.
That sounds fun. I will definitely try role-playing with my language partner. Do you have any other tips for improving my speaking skills?
Yes, one more tip is to focus on fluency rather than perfection. When you are speaking, try to keep the conversation flowing even if you make mistakes. Don't get stuck on finding the perfect word or grammar structure. Just keep talking and expressing yourself.
That's a good point. I often get caught up trying to be perfect, and it slows me down. I will work on focusing more on fluency. Thank you for reminding me.
You are welcome, Sarah. Remember, the goal is effective communication. As long as you can get your message across, minor mistakes are not a big deal. Keep practicing and you will continue to improve.
I will, Mr. Smith. Thank you so much for all your guidance and encouragement. I feel much more confident about improving my English speaking skills now.
I'm glad to hear that, Sarah. Keep up the great work, and don't hesitate to reach out if you need any more help. I'm here to support you every step of the way.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. I appreciate it.
Before we conclude, Sarah, I would like to share one final tip with you. It's important to practice active listening while you are working on your speaking skills.
Active listening. What do you mean by that?
Active listening involves fully concentrating on what the other person is saying, rather than just passively hearing the words. This means paying attention to the speaker's tone, body language, and the context of the conversation. By becoming a better listener, you will also become a better speaker because you will pick up on nuances and expressions that you can incorporate into your own speech.
That makes sense. I will make sure to practice active listening during my conversations in English.
Great! Active listening is a valuable skill that will not only improve your speaking abilities but also enhance your overall communication skills.
Thank you for all these wonderful tips, Mr. Smith. I really appreciate your help and guidance.
You are very welcome, Sarah. Remember, learning a language is a journey, and it's normal to encounter challenges along the way. The important thing is to stay motivated, keep practicing, and never give up. I have every confidence that you will continue to make great progress in your English speaking skills.
Thank you for your encouragement, Mr. Smith. I will do my best to apply these tips and keep improving. Have a fantastic day.
Before we wrap up, Sarah, I want to leave you with one last piece of advice. It's essential to create a language learning routine and stick to it consistently.
That's a good point, Mr. Smith. How can I create a routine that works for me?
Start by setting specific goals for your English learning journey. Break down these goals into smaller, manageable tasks, and allocate time each day for language practice. Whether it's 30 minutes in the morning or an hour in the evening, consistency is key.
Make use of resources like language learning apps, textbooks, or online courses to structure your practice sessions effectively.
That sounds like a practical approach. I will definitely work on creating a consistent routine for my language learning.
Excellent! Remember to keep track of your progress and celebrate your achievements along the way. Language learning is a gradual process, and every step forward is worth celebrating.
Thank you for your guidance, Mr. Smith. I feel much more motivated and equipped to improve my English speaking skills now.
You are welcome, Sarah. I have every confidence in your ability to succeed. Keep practicing, stay dedicated, and never hesitate to reach out if you need assistance or encouragement. I'm here to support you in your language learning journey.
Thank you once again, Mr. Smith. I will keep in touch and let you know how I'm progressing. Have a wonderful day.
You too, Sarah. Keep up the fantastic work, and I look forward to hearing about your progress. Take care.